everybody, I'm Forrest Ivy with the Smart Inspector. We do high quality home inspections in the DFW Metroplex. And recently I've had quite a number of people who are going to list their house, want to know how to prepare when the inspector comes over to discover all the hidden surprises. So I put together a list. I'll give a link to the PDF with this list as well. But these are things that I would do to prepare your home for a home inspection before the inspector comes and starts making all these discoveries. These are simple things to do. A lot of it's just home maintenance, okay? So we'll talk about HVAC first, heating and cooling, right? Very easy thing to do, change the air filter. You'd be surprised how many homes we go inspect and they have a dirty old filter. So change that air filter, number one. Number two is if you have access to like a laser temperature gun, like a laser thermometer. Some people have them for barbecues or stuff like that. They have them at Home Depot. Test the air going in, see what temperature that is, and test the air coming out and see what that temperature that is. So you should have a difference. If the heater is on, your furnace is on, you want 35-degree increase in heat, right? That's the minimum we're looking for. And then if you have your AC on, we're looking for anywhere from 15 to 22 degrees of cooling. We want it to cool off the air that much. If it doesn't do that, we write that up as a deficiency. Probably have to have somebody come do a tune-up on your system before your inspection. Okay, now for plumbing. We want to check the sinks for leaks. See if those sinks are leaking. If they are, you want to have those fixed before the inspector finds it. You want to tighten any loose fixtures in the house. You might have some loose handles, loose faucets, have them tightened. Is that kitchen sink loose? You might be used to it, but we're going to write that up when we come do the inspection. Fix any running toilets. You don't want those toilets to run. That's making your water meter tick. And that's another good way to check, by the way, if you have any water leaks, say after it freezes, make sure all the water is off in the house, no dishwasher, no running toilets, no washing machine, everything's off. See if that meter is moving. If it's moving, you have a leak somewhere. Do you have any clogged drains or any drains? Is that kitchen sink drain slowly? Does your master shower, does it drain slowly? Time to snake that thing, right? Do that before the inspector comes and calls it out. Caulk around the fixtures. You may be used to seeing little gaps around your bathtubs, but we want those caulked. We don't want water to get back there. We're gonna call that out in a home inspection. Go get some caulking and fix it up. And then anti-siphon devices. These are silly, but Texas code says you're supposed to have them. They're a couple dollars for this item that screws onto the end of your hose bib, has a little diaphragm inside, and it only lets water out and it won't let water in. You're supposed to have them on all your exterior hose bibs. We won't get into why, but an inspector's gonna call that out. Okay, electrical. We want to change light bulbs. You might be used to seeing 3 of your 4 lights come on in your living room. Just change them, change the light bulbs. We get tired of writing that stuff up. It's easy to do. Go through your house, change all your light bulbs. The batteries in your smoke detector, change those too. We all know they go off in the middle of the night anyway, so before we get there and start testing them and using what battery they have left, go ahead and change them. They may work fine, but if they're beeping during the inspection, we're gonna write that up. And then GFCI outlets, what are those? Those are those outlets with a test and reset buttons on them, right? You're supposed to have those anywhere that is within 6 feet of a water source, so your bathrooms, your kitchens, things like that, laundry room. You're supposed to have them in your garage, all the outlets in your garage, and you're supposed to have any exterior outlets on the outside of your house, all supposed to be GFCI protected. So have an electrician install those. If you don't have them, you can get a little outlet tester from Home Depot for, or your hardware store for a couple bucks, $8 or $10. You can test your outlets, and there's usually a test button on them that will switch the power off to that outlet if it is GFCI protected, and then you would reset the power. So check for those. Okay, appliances. Clean out your food waste disposer. Oftentimes people use these like the night before and then they get all clogged up before the inspector comes over. So empty it out. Is there a fork in there? Does something rattle when you turn it on? Get it out of there. The oven temperature. Go get a little thermometer that from the grocery store and that you can hang on a rack or something. Set it to 350 degrees. That's what we're gonna do. And if it measures anywhere from 325 to 375, it's okay. Otherwise, you're gonna have the thermostat recalibrated inside of your oven, and you'll have to find ways to do that. Are all the burners on your cooktop, are they all functional? If they're not, time to have one repaired. Get it repaired before we come over. An anti-tip device on your oven is a little L-shaped bracket. It bolts to the wall, down close to the floor, and this portion of the L holds down the back foot of the oven so that it can't be tipped over. You don't want a child to, say, climb up the oven to get to the cookie jar, and then the oven tips over on them with a big old, pot of boiling water. Sorry, Timmy. But easy to install, low cost, high reward. Your garage door, does it go up? Does it go down? Is it dented? Does something need to be repaired? Are there springs missing, screws missing? Get that done first. Then you want to check the safety features, the photoelectric sensors, the little lasers that look at each other. When the door's going down, cross that, and that should reverse your door. We also do an opposite pressure test. So when the door's coming down, you want to give it a little push, see if that door goes back up. If it doesn't, then the sensitivity needs to be adjusted. There's either a knob or there's little up and down arrows on the back of your garage door opener that can adjust the sensitivity. You want to make it more sensitive so when it encounters something, it will reverse. If you just crank the sensitivity all the way, then when the door hits the floor, it will reverse. We don't need that. So just test it a little bit at a time, push on the door, see if it reverses, and there you go. Some optional systems like your sprinkler system. Your sprinkler system, it's not required to be inspected in Texas. Well, we do inspect them. Sprinkler systems just run each zone. Put it in manual, turn on zone 1, go see if it works. Turn on zone 2, go see if it works. If you see any broken sprinkler heads or you see any leaks, that's when you catch them. You know what to fix because we're gonna catch that. May as well catch it before we head over. If you have a swimming pool, here's some simple things to check for. If there's any cracks or the sealant around the decking and coping, if that has gotten old, you want to replace that sealant. You want to fill any cracks in your decking. Check the equipment to see if it has any visible leaks. It may have some simple fix leak that's above ground. You can get to that, fix that, do that before we show up and catch that. Also your filter. You could have a cartridge filter or a DE filter. If it's a cartridge filter, change the cartridge. If you haven't changed it in a long time, your filter pressure could be skyrocketing. That's not good. So change that filter. And if it's a DE filter, backwash it. Again, we want the filter to flow as easy as possible so the pressure isn't super high. That's something we would call out. And lastly, do you have gates around your backyard that lead to your pool? If so, you want to make sure they do 3 things. They need to open outward, they need to self-close, and they need to latch when they do self-close. That's to keep any neighborhood kids from wandering in your backyard, falling in the pool, and then you wind up with a lawsuit. So we don't want that to happen to little Timmy. Make sure those gates do those 3 things. Okay, here's the largest section, and that's the structure itself. You want to fill any holes that you had in the walls where you maybe mounted things or your kid threw a toy and it busted a hole in the wall. Do some drywall patch up, okay? Any cracks in the ceilings, cracks in the walls, corners of windows and doors, you want to fill those up, okay? Seal all the obvious holes and cracks. Nail pops, when nails stick out of the ceiling, common in raised ceilings, you want to push those nails back in. Sometimes they're screws, screw them back in. They will back out over time. You want them to go back in. We don't want them popping out. Any wood rot on the outside of the house, don't just paint over that, okay? Chop it off, replace it with something that's not wood rotted. We want healthy wood on the outside of our house. Pro tip, rotting wood gives off nitrogen. Nitrogen attracts wood destroying insects. So we want to replace that anyway, right? Let's see here. In the foundation, there's usually V-shaped cracks at the corners. This is not a structural thing. Don't freak out, but do fill those cracks so that that cracking doesn't continue and the corner of the foundation eventually pops off. In the industry, we call it corner pops. Most houses have a couple of corners like this. Seal them up before it gets to that point. That's something we would write up as well. Let's see here. Caulking around the windows. That always has to happen. We write that up on every house. Pull off the old caulking, install new caulking. Caulking around doors, caulking around siding, and caulking on your nail heads on the roof. If you're uncomfortable getting on the roof yourself, you could even have a roofer that is reputable come do a roof inspection for you. They probably will do that for free. So have them out and to inspect your roof. Make sure it's somebody reputable. That way they're not just trying to sell you a roof. And then you could also have a foundation technician come out and measure your foundation levels. They'll do that for free too. These are all things that we as inspectors do, third party, non-biased. We're not trying to sell roofs or sell foundations. No, we can't do that, it's illegal, but we are gonna check for these things, and you can have these professionals come out and check them for free before we show up, and then you're ahead of the curve. After you've done these things, then paint your house. Everybody goes, okay, I'm selling my house, we gotta make it look pretty, let's paint it, right? Do these things first, then paint it. It's gonna look real weird if you've painted over wood rot and you still have to go back, fix the wood rot. For VA loans, for example, they have to have the wood rot fixed in order to close on the house. If somebody's using a VA loan to buy your house and all you've done is paint over your wood rot, now you have to chop away this wood rot and repaint again. So make sure painting is the last thing that you do. Day of inspection, I did a video just on this, and I'll give a link to that, that we send this video to sellers before we head over to their house. So make sure you do these things on the day of your inspection. First things first, turn on all your utilities. That sounds straightforward, doesn't it? You'd be surprised how many times there's no electricity, no water, no gas. Make sure those are on before we show up. Unlock the gates that go to your backyard. If we have to go through your house every time to go from the front yard to the backyard, we don't want to make your house messy. If it's raining or something, just unlock the gates so we have access to walk all the way around. Give us access to the electrical panel. If you have stuff in the garage, move those cars out, right? If you have a bunch of boxes and stuff, we need access to the electrical panel. We'll need access to your water heater. We'll need access to your sprinkler controller. We'll need access to that pull-down ladder you probably have in the garage that goes up to the attic that will then give us access to your furnace and air handler. We need access to all that stuff. That way we don't have to do a return visit. You could be recharged for return visits, no need for that. We want a good clean inspection the first time. Lastly, I would say, as far as animals go, pick up after them in the backyard. When we're walking around your backyard, we're looking at the house and we're not looking down for landmines. And if we happen to step in something, well, where are we going after we're on the outside of their house? We're going to the inside of the house. And you don't want us to find a landmine before we do that. And as far as pets go, I would remove them from the property. We don't want a cat to get out a door. Nobody wants that. We don't want a dog to bite us or anything like that. We love animals. I love animals, but I've been at inspections where the dog is real nice to you, and then as soon as the owner gets in his car and drives down the street to go get a snack or something, that dog turns on you, and those are bad stories. So just let's get the dog out of the house. In a cage is not sufficient. I've seen dogs escape from cages, and we've had to run out of the house and call the owner to come pick them up. Just get those dogs out of there. So there's a big list for you. Knock those items out. Also, if you would like the Smart Inspector to come out and inspect your house before you list it, that's a strong move. That could be your fighting edge in selling your house versus someone else selling theirs. If it's a buyer's market, go ahead and get your house inspected. That way, when you do list it, you can show the potential buyer, hey, here's our inspection and here's all the things we've done to alleviate the issues they found. That way you have a strong selling presence. So remember to keep the Smart Inspector in mind for your high quality home inspection needs in the DFW Metroplex. Thanks for sticking with me. Y'all have a great day.